don't say that you're going to take away the kids because apparently he doesn't care about you or the family or his kids because he practiced polygyny or because he decided to marry again or want to marry again. Assalamu alaikum, peace. It's your Coach Nyla, one of the co-founders of Outstanding Personal Relationships, as well as co-author of the book, Let's Talk Polygamy Uncensored. Okay, so let's get into it. How many of you think that the polygynous man is someone that just wants polygyny for his own lustful desires? He can't afford polygyny. He does not care about his first wife if he practiced polygyny. Yeah, okay, you get where I'm going with this. This is pretty much what men in polygyny hear a lot. Now, I'm not saying that there aren't predators out there. You can have predators everywhere, people who are not doing what they're supposed to do in any way, shape, or form, in any type of it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether they're practicing polygyny, whether they're Muslim, non-Muslim, things like that. Because what I learned is that people are going to be people. So if you're a bad person, you're going to be a bad person. Unless you're really willing to grow and change and do better, that is pretty much where your personality lies. And you can pretend all you want, and eventually the truth will come to light. So I'm just a firm belief of that. But what I'm getting at is that men who actually start speaking about wanting to practice polygyny, they get so much flack. So many people going against them, talking about them, disrespecting them, and things as far as that. And it's really a sad thing. And yes, I'm going to talk about this on the men's behalf, because it's important. We should not be against each other. Women should not be against men, and men shouldn't be against women. We are supposed to be a team. We were created to coexist together. So it shouldn't be a versus between men and women. But for some reason, there's an agenda out there in society that is making us against each other and battle one another, and to say who's moral and who's immoral, who's causing who a bunch of problems. And when it all comes down to it, we're doing it to each other. Yes, if you guys agree with me, put it in the chat. I know some people are not going to agree because it's going to rub them the wrong way. However, it's what it is. Sometimes we have to really shed light on the issues in order to change the issues, okay? So the thing is this. Things that we as wives can say to our husbands that can cause a lot of issues within our marriage. One of the main things is that you can't afford polygyny. You can't afford polygyny. Some husbands, they probably can't. They can't. But that don't mean that they can't get their weight up. That doesn't mean that they're not striving. And what does that mean? Is it they can't afford it in money? If they can't afford it in emotional maturity? If they can't afford it in leadership? These type of things we still have to think about as wives ourselves, to say, if our husbands can't afford these things, and they can't be just, and they can't be fair, and they can't be, well, just is what I mean when I say fair, not equal, because equal is not the same as fairness. And that's another topic for another video. But all in all, being able to be just, if we have husbands that are that way, why are we with them in the first place? Unless we want a husband who's not just, or unless we want a husband who is not willing to work on himself to improve and get better. Now, I'm not saying that he should be a bum and then think that he can go out and practice polygyny because you have to be more than twice the man to do so. But the thing is, if we have less than twice the man to do this thing, then why are we with him in the first place? Are we choosing losers to be on our winning team as women, as wives who want more or who want better? How will we follow a leader who is not fit to lead? How will we follow a person who is not willing to be a leader, a protector, a maintainer, a provider of women, period? It's not just men are maintainers and protectors of wives, of just their wives. They're protectors and maintainers of women. So when we are disrespecting them or disregarding their ability to improve themselves, then we are showing our husbands that we are not a part of their team, that we see them as an enemy, or we see them as a loser, or we don't see them as amounting to much, instead of encouraging them and having them be better. Here's the thing. You will have women that will come after me. You might be thinking about this too while you're watching this, is that, Coach Nyla, you must don't care about your husband. You must don't love him because you will push him into the arms of another woman. Well, honey child, let me tell you, my husband was already married before he married me. So I understand about him being polygynous anyway. So him marrying me will not stop him being polygynous. He was already polygynous before that. And men are actually polygynous by nature. Now, if they are not going to act on it, that's up to them. But they are still polygynous by nature. And we as women have to understand that. We are not the same. It doesn't mean that they love us any less because they are polygynous by nature. Because men can still love multiple women and still care for multiple women and take care of them. It's about his character. Is he taking care of the women that are in his life? Is he leading and growing and protecting and providing? Isn't he doing these things? Is he trying to get better? And are we helping him do that? Because the thing is, we can hinder him by complaining, by telling him he's not this, he's not that, he's not doing this. Another thing is, you don't love me. If you marry again, then you must don't love me because you hurt me. And because you're hurting me, then you don't love me. Because he will have to figure out, my gosh, okay, well, I don't want to hurt her. But the thing is that he can't control your feelings. Only you can. But for him to be able to do something that it causes him to be better and to increase in his manhood, and to also fulfill, for those who are my Muslims out there, to fulfill another part of his deen, which is it's not required that he does that he practices polygyny. It's not what they say, what is the word they say? It's not that he has to do it. It's not where this is what he's supposed to do. He's supposed to take on multiple wives. It's not, it's he can if he wants to. And the thing is, since if it's a want for him, then he should not want to because it hurts me. Those type of things. However, being polygynous, that's a desire. Having more is a desire in all of us. Whether it's having more wives for men, whether it's having more money for men, more power, whether it's having more money for us as women, or more, more love and care and compassion, more clothes, more shoes, whatever. That's in us to have more, to want more, to strive for more. For men is different than it is for us. So when we start to question why they're doing a particular thing because of how we choose to feel about it, then what is that saying about our character? We do have to look at our part in order to improve our marriage and connect with our husbands on a higher level. Then we must try to understand them in a way, not that we have to understand everything, but understand them in a way that they know that they can come to us, while we also want to be able to come to them and trust that they understand us in a way that they can advise us objectively, that they can listen to us with a kindness. They don't have to do the things that we do because they're not the nurturers that we are. But to question his love for you when he shows you time and time again that he loves you, and the only thing that you base that love on right now is that he married again, and him marrying again hurt you in some way, shape, or form, but he's still trying and still working with you and still protecting you and providing for you and listening to you and embracing you, or at least trying to, then that's not a him thing, that's a you thing. And we have to watch out for that as wives. Saying that, well, you don't have the money. Do we really know how much money our husband really has? All the money that he has? Are we really counting his pockets? And if so, wow, that means that maybe we don't have a lot going on for ourselves too, either, or whatever. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't know what's going on with the finances in your home, because you should. But every little piece of income or money that he has and what he can and can't do with it is something that he has to take care of, that he has to improve on. And I'm not saying stop the stuff that you're used to, meaning that, okay, well, I'm going to sacrifice the things that I was privy to and that I'm privileged to have so you can marry again. I'm not saying that. I'm saying like, yeah, okay, do what you're going to do, but make sure these things don't change it doesn't take away, because this is what you were doing before and you have to grow. So I'm encouraging you to grow. I'm not saying you cannot get married again. I'm not saying that I would take the kids from you, because that's another thing that we can say that can totally destroy our marriage, because it puts our husband on a defensive, and it's like, wow, we are enemies now. Now you're willing to take what I love away from me, all because I decided to expand the family, that I decided to marry again, that I decided to exercise, more parts of me to be a better man. And I've seen a number of situations where the husband, after polygyny, he became a much better husband to even his first wife, because now he really has to hold himself accountable to make sure that she is taken care of as well as his other wife is taken care of, and his whole family as a whole. So we must be careful about the things that we say to our husbands that can cause issues within our marriage. So don't say that they can't afford polygyny. Don't say that you're going to take away the kids because apparently he doesn't care about you or the family or his kids because he practiced polygyny or because he decided to marry again or want to marry again. And don't say he doesn't love you anymore, because if he loved you, putting that condition on it, if he loved you, then he wouldn't marry again, that he wouldn't marry anybody else. See, those type of things put a division. It's divisive. It puts division between a husband and a wife, because now it's like you're not a team anymore. And I know you'll have others that will say, well, he did this, so he didn't look at us as a team anymore. Why? Because he decided he wanted to expand his family? Because he decided to practice a right that he can actually practice? And yes, it is a right. We understand that. But see, when we look at the whole picture of it all, the right is it's humbling. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of responsibility. And it's great actually for the society as a whole. So when we put the society, the betterment, improvement of society ahead of our own internal personal issues, things turn out to be a whole lot better. And this is just over the top and could be over some people's heads. So I'm not going to go too much into it, because I know the comments will be flooded with a lot of disagreements and things about a me mentality, because that's what it will sound like in so many different ways. I've heard it over and over again. So I'm pretty sure it's not going to be anything new from this video, from the comments that will come from this video that I haven't heard before, because we've been conditioned to care so much solely about ourselves that we will let society fall to crap, which has been happening because we are not holding true and holding strong to the nuclear family and not allowing our men to be men and not encouraging them to be men and to be better and getting out of our own way and getting out of our own egos and our own insecurities so we can grow as a whole, so we can grow as a family, so we can grow as a people, so we can grow as an amazing nation. Again, way over too much possibly. However, don't say those things. Say these other things instead. You know, I see that you want to grow, or I see that this is something that you want to do. I don't understand it. I may have some issues with it. I may have some insecurities. Sometimes that's hard for us to even say because we don't want to admit the issues that we may have with it. And those issues can become just insecurities within ourselves. And it's easier to place blame and to disregard what can be beneficial or to project our own feelings on somebody else and place blame instead of take responsibility. And taking responsibility is highly important when it comes to understanding, connecting, and building with your husband. Hopefully you guys got some great information from this video. And this is just to open up the conversation. So definitely put your thoughts and comments in the comment section. I know, be respectful. It's going to be some stuff. I know everyone is not going to agree with what I'm saying. It is what it is. I'm opening the conversation up, but be respectful, because that's one thing we pride ourselves for at OPR is that this is troll free. We don't want any trolls, any people that want to slander or cause a lot of drama. You can have your opinions, but be respectful. And we train a lot more on this in our campus, and you can go and find out more about that at polygamyeducation.com. That's our campus. You want to find out more about it, definitely check that out. I'm super excited about what we have in store, especially for these upcoming months, for the classes that we'll be teaching and the syllabus that we're unrolling. So, or that we're rolling out. So make sure you are growing intentionally, loving fearlessly, and connecting on a higher level every single day. Visit us on our social media channels. Continue to keep watching. We look forward to seeing you very soon. Inshallah, God willing, I'll see you in the campus. Assalamu alaikum. Peace.